is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Well, and a very good morning to you. Welcome along to UBC Good Morning Uganda Extra. I'm Joram Paul Sonko, and many thanks for sticking around to your national broadcaster. Our conversations this morning are rather targeting exports and value addition. What a way to kickstart off a conversation, and what a lovely morning it does look like. We're almost coming to the end of the year, just a few days to say goodbye to 2023. So making future projections for 2024 at the start of the calendar year on the 1st of January should be on top of your wish list, if I'm to put it in that way. And also, you should remember that the first day of the year 2024 will be a Monday. Now, if you're looking for a more serious year in 2024, is clearly that year for you to ideally set your goals and then get going. But speaking of which, for those in the agricultural sector and for those who are ideally into the exporting world, this is time for you to join our conversation this morning as we share different aspects of what is happening in that space of value addition. And of course, not only the value addition part, but also looking at the level of our exporting markets in the country. Joining me this morning for this particular conversation, I do have Dr. Eli Twineo, who is the Executive Director of the Uganda Export Promotion Board, as we are having this conversation that is definitely going to be more insightful than you would ever thought for a Tuesday morning. A very good morning, sir, and many thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Jolam. Good morning, all the viewers and even listeners. I'm happy to be here to talk about exports.
Well, pleasure is ours to have you this morning. And my very first question will be going on to the Expo that is taking place in Doha, the ongoing Expo 2023. What is the highlight for the Ugandan exporters? And as we have just celebrated the National Day for Uganda, what does this even mean for Ugandans?
Markets, and you have heard the president saying it all the time.
Yes.
Actually, the president every time is saying markets are important. And he has always told you, you see, we are a small population. We want the East African Cooperation, we want COMESA, we want African Continental Free Trade Area, and he also says we want markets outside of Africa. Markets are very important because sometimes you produce what you don't consume and consume what you don't produce.
Yes.
And you produce what you don't consume. Why? You sell them. You need the market. You need the money. And you need money to sustain our families. We need money to sustain our households. We need money to sustain our companies. Now, the Qatar and the city of Doha, Qatar is a rich country, is well known because they are in the Middle East. These are countries that they got lucky. They were in the desert, but the desert doesn't matter anymore to them. So they have higher purchasing power. They consume food products that Uganda produces and other countries produce. And let me tell you, we are in Doha. This is an agricultural expo. It's a specialized expo. It is not like Expo Dubai, which is what we call the World Expo. This is a specialized expo. We are happy that the government of Qatar invited us to be part of this, to showcase what we can produce, to showcase what we can sell to them, to show our value addition, and to look for markets. But we are not only looking for markets, we are also looking for investors.
Yes.
We are looking for investors. We are presenting Uganda as one of the best destinations for you to invest in. We are also promoting tourism.
Okay, and speaking of that, our niche this time round is focusing on trade, investment, and tourism. One would wonder, why are we focused on these three elements this time round?
Because, Joram, for you to take products to the market, you have to produce them. So you have to first produce products, and then you can take them to the market. And for you to take products to the market, you have to invest. And therefore, for you to produce, you need investors.
Yes.
What we call Musigan Simbi, people who have to bring in money, companies that have to bring in money and invest for production. Once we have produced, we look for markets. So therefore, we are looking for investment, We are looking for markets, but also Uganda is very well known. Uganda is one of the unique countries in the world. I always tell people, this is one of the countries you must visit before you die. Why? Only 3 countries in the world are closely similar to Uganda's climate, nature, and temperature, and all conditions of environment. And that is one country, small country in Latin America called Ecuador. Another one is Kenya, and then Uganda. Uganda is what we call astride the equator. Not people use the other English word. Astride the equator is the right word. We have the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. In Uganda, two hemispheres meet together to give you 2 types of climate, temperature, and environment. We have flora and fauna. We have the big 5 of the animals. We have the mountain gorillas. We have the hippos. We have the elephants. We have the lions. We even have the rhinos. You know, and then small animals. We have the highest number of birds in the world. So these people, not only do we tell them come and invest, but also come and have leisure time in Uganda. So it is investment, it is trade, it is tourism, but Uganda's purpose is to make money. Once these investors have come, once the tourists have visited Uganda, once we have got market, we make money, and once we make money, our economy grows.
Okay. Looking at Uganda's value addition sectors of focus is actually in sectors as highlighted here. Agriculture, you look at manufacturing, you look at trade investment, all of those, and then now tourism as well, among the sectors that Uganda is actually prioritizing in regards to value addition. But speaking of that, Doctor, how are we leveraging these sectors at the Expo in Doha?
Yes, and let me mention that recently we had a summit to showcase and promote investment, to promote trade, to promote tourism. And the chief guest was our Honorable Minister, Honorable Francis Mwebesa, the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives. We had also the State Minister for Trade, Honorable Harriet Ntabazi, and we had a private sector and government agencies, but also we had ministers and other dignitaries of the government of Qatar coming in this meeting. We are showcasing value addition. Qataris take a lot of coffee. We are telling them here is already coffee. We have a lot of coffee, but value added. And we want to encourage them to come and also add value. We are taking samples. We already have samples of value-added coffee from different companies in Uganda that have already begun adding value in their small way, but in their quality way. But also we are promoting value-added fruits and vegetables. But also we are promoting tea. We are promoting meat, beef. We are promoting dairy products, value-added. Because we know every country in the world, human beings in the world take milk or like milk. And if they can afford it, then they buy it, and then we make money. We have other products. We are also promoting flowers, cut flowers, especially roses, but some carnations. Okay. And we are linking up with the Flower Association, flower buyers of Qatar, to see how we do it. But also we are promoting fish. Okay. Nile perch is, for example, in Dubai, Nile perch is #2 fish after salmon. Yet salmon is the most expensive fish in the world. Okay. So you can as well say Nile perch is a very good fish in the world. Okay. Looking at our participation in most of the expos and world summits world over, you get to realize that we've been participating, you know, as well as showcasing what we do offer as a country. Now, looking at this particular expo, with our participation this year, what chances are there? What are the opportunities that have arrived within the expo, and how can we utilize the same? And what are these opportunities, by the way? Thank you very much for that question. First of all, let me mention Some people, when they hear that it is an expo,
Yes.
sometimes they don't understand it. An expo is an exhibition.
Yes.
An expo is a trade fair. An expo is promotions brought together in one location, whereby countries have got pavilions or stands,
Okay.
and even companies are also there showcasing their products and also looking for opportunities. So let me say, in this exhibition, in this trade fair, which we call Expo Doha, which is an agricultural exhibition, you have over 100 participants, which are countries and companies. So already at that expo, the opportunities we are looking at, we are already buyer-seller links, buyer-seller links, buyer-seller linkages, business-to-business linkages. We are also doing business to government linkages. So we are very hopeful, and already deals have been started. And one of the when we were there, was one of the companies that deals in value-added fruits and vegetables already got more than 5 deals.
Okay.
But the deals will keep coming in coffee. Deals will keep coming in fish. Deals will keep coming in fruits and vegetables, dried fruits and vegetables as well, tea, dairy products. You can talk of milk, value-added milk, long life milk,
Okay.
but also you can talk of ghee. You can talk of other products that come from milk.
Okay.
And I tell you, I visited supermarkets, what we call hypermarkets, big supermarkets, big stores like Carrefour, like Lulu, and other stores, small stores. And I saw that we had opportunity, because I saw Kenyan products already there. I saw South African products, which were already there, which gave me the feeling that we can do it. Because some of the Kenyan products, I don't know, maybe even the Ugandan products, like avocado and others, which had been bought from Uganda and packaged in Kenya, and sent there. But the other good thing, Joram, we should know, is that Qatar is almost the same time like Dubai by air. And we have Qatar Airways, we have Air Arabia, we have also Emirates, we have Ethiopian Airlines.
Yes.
We have many airlines that are going directly to Qatar for like 5 hours and 40 minutes. So you can take even fresh fruits and vegetables, and fish,
Okay.
and flowers, and at the same time, like you are going to Dubai. So connection is there, but also we can go through the water.
You know, Doctor, when it comes to these expos, at times, especially when we are targeting value addition, we do have farmers, let's say from the agriculture world, and we also have traders in Uganda who are highly focused on value addition. How do we help them benefit from such spaces? Because the opportunities are available, like you've mentioned.
Yes.
But we do have some people who have less information about how they can easily tap into such spaces. How can we help them get more of or get more out of these opportunities?
No, thank you very much. Let me start from the fact that we are on a national broadcaster now.
Yes.
This is one of the TV stations that widely reaches everyone in this country, and one of the oldest TVs in this country.
It is actually the oldest.
It is the oldest, actually, say the oldest TV in this country. So it is known, and you can't avoid watching UBC. I'm telling you, you can't avoid watching UBC. There is no way. So I am so happy that you guys are hosting us, because then in Uganda we say "embulidete fayona," that what you say will not be lost on everybody.
At least someone will pick a leaf or an idea.
An idea.
True.
So you people, good people watching us in the studio, know that one thing, Uganda Export Promotion Board, under Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, working with Ministry of Foreign Affairs for commercial diplomacy to find markets abroad, because we have our embassies and missions abroad, but also working with the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Finance supporting us, and State House and the Presidency are committed to looking for markets. And this is how you profit. This is how you gain. The logistics companies who are business people, you will gain by being involved in logistics, in organizing transportation, in organizing movement of these products, coordinating with the airlines, in coordinating with tickets to go abroad. Now, for value adders, some value adders are actually producers. Some value adders are traders. They buy products, they just add value. You have a market. Uganda Export Promotion Board will help you with all the documentation, all the paperwork. We are doing it with what we call export readiness assessment. We come to you and assess you whether you're ready for export. When we find where we need to tie knots, we'll help you tie knots. We will advise you, and you reach a market. Export Promotion Board, I must also say, is one of the oldest organizations in this country. It was not created by the World Bank. It was created around 1969. Yeah, and the government then and the government now is committed to promoting exports, because if you don't export, you perish. There is no country that has become rich without exporting.
And as we are trying to expand our investments in Uganda, and then also expanding them cross borders away within the region, Africa and the world over, how are we going to use this expo, to enhance this competitiveness that is actually available? Because on the world stage, there is quite huge competition from various market players. But how can we use this expo, which is running till March next year, by the way, to enhance this level of market competitiveness and also expand our investment opportunities?
Thank you very much. What we have done, for example, is that we have planned a number of activities. One, we had the National Day and the Business Forum. Those two events took place, and during these two events, we showcased Uganda and its products and its tourism and its investments. I was very happy that the Minister of Qatar said Uganda is one of the partners, is one of the friends, is one of the countries that they wish to expand cooperation with. And he was cognizant of Uganda's peace and stability. He was cognizant of Uganda as a good country with enabling environment for investment and for trade. And this coming from the Minister of Doha, of Qatar in Doha, was positive, because then this is a rallying call for his citizens to come and invest in Uganda. We will have other business forums and business summits. We will have buyer-seller meetings. We will be moving to do market scoping studies, whereby we visit buyers, supermarkets, Lulu, Carrefour, other small ones. We will be visiting chambers of commerce and negotiating direct deals. We will be visiting potential investors and convincing them to come and invest in Uganda. And we have gone, Uganda Investment Authority gave us bankable projects. But while we are there also, we had UDC, Uganda Development Corporation. As you know, UDC is also one of the oldest agencies and is the investment arm of government. You know, UDC is the one which opened
the Uganda Development Corporation.
Yes, it is the one which owns these hotels you see, the Sheratons, the Serenas. It owns the shares in sugar companies. So we were there, and they met with chambers of commerce, they met with potential investors, they made presentations. We are serious about this, and also the other part is to invite people to do tourism. You see, when people come as tourists,
yes,
and they look, when you reach Uganda and they like it, they say we want to stay here. At the forum, we had the opportunity to have one of the companies which was brought by embassy, and which made joint presentation with our embassy, with Ambassador, our deputy ambassador, Ambassador Beswell Kezara, and the other company, which is already a Qatari company, which is here. And the role they want to play, they want to be attracting Qataris. They are a Qatari company, and they'll be convincing their people to come and invest in this country. So during this period, we thank the support of the Qatari government, and also for them to invite us, to give us an opportunity. You see, during an exhibition of a long term like this one, you have an opportunity. People visit, even young children. Yes. Children visit. They pick leaflets, they pick flyers, and then the next time when they grow up, they say, oh, at one time during an exhibition, I saw a good country called Uganda. I want to go there and see animals. And when they come here, we make money.
All right.
Yeah.
And speaking of value addition and export markets, just to remind you that this particular expo, of the Doha Expo 2023-2024, kicked off on the 2nd of October, and it will be coming to the end on the 28th of March. That's early next year, 6 months of this particular one, if you're to put it into proper context. So under the theme of green desert, better environment, this particular theme is seeking to inspire and raise awareness about innovative solutions with the aim of mitigating and reducing desertification. And the same way applies to the COP28 that just concluded today in the UAE. And then also looking at this particular one, they also have the International Culture Expo 2023, which is pretty much the same kind of situation, which opened up. The Horticulture Expo was the first earlier this year. It opened up room for the expo in Doha 2023 to March 28th, 2024. Our conversations are returning after the break as we continue looking at the opportunities that are available for those of you into value addition and those into exporting of various commodities, services, as well as various traders within the country. I'm still with Dr. Eli here, and we'll be definitely back with more conversations. So stick around to UBC. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
UBC is the national public broadcaster. We educate, inform, entertain, and inspire our audiences. You can watch us on free-to-air channel 001, DSTV channel 282, GoTV channel 371, Star Times channel 201, Zuku TV channel 20, and Azam TV channel 350. Even when your subscription expires, you can still watch UBC for free on your pay TV platforms.
Junko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Junko, I thought I was one of your friends.
You are,
but you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief, and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government, designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
The cardinal role of a government is maintaining law and order, safeguarding citizens' rights, and providing essential public goods and services. Throughout its tenure, the government has consistently upheld these principles, This foundation creates an environment conducive to delivering crucial social services to citizens through diverse approaches such as taxation, strategic budgeting, and effective policy implementation. A transformative education system, advancing healthcare provisions, enhancing social welfare, and propelling infrastructure growth, all of which continue to evolve daily to cater to the population's expectations. Supported by a meticulously organized network of ministries, government remains committed to serving its citizens. Coming soon on your public broadcaster, The Front Bench, your interface with the government every Monday at 8:30 p.m. with Joram Paul Sonko, only on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Well, thank you very much for sticking around to Good Morning Uganda Extra. Our conversations around value addition and the export markets do continue definitely. I'm still with Dr. Eli Twineo. Dr. Eli Twineo is the Executive Director, or ED, of the Uganda Export Promotion Board. And of course, as we speak of exports, he is the right man to address some of the issues we are having at hand here in relation to 1, value addition, 2, exports, 3, quality. You know, the emphasis of quality is something the President has been mentioning about, Doctor. How do we, you know, create room for the quality aspect and have the Ugandans realize how important quality is? Because what really happens in such expos, like you've mentioned, it's an exhibition where countries are exhibiting high quality products. Is this time for Ugandans to realize that pinching in high quality goods is the way to go?
Over time, and when we had these interactions, we had UNBS, Uganda National Bureau of Standards.
Yes.
Over time, and I thank the government of Uganda, government has been injecting money, giving money to UNBS to buy equipment, to train staff, to hire capable people, to help us with the standards. With regard to agriculture, also we have government inspectors. The government has increased the number of inspectors. With regard also to manufacturing, again we have also the Minister of Industry, which is the Minister of Trade Industry and Cooperatives, also playing a quality inspection role. They even have a quality assurance unit section to ensure that this is done. I always tell people that since 1997, the government of Uganda encouraged our people, our producers, our factories, our value adders, our manufacturers to become competitive and also to improve and increase production. Let me tell you, over time Uganda's production and quality has improved very greatly. That's why, and effectively and efficiently, that's why you have always had even neighboring countries complaining about us in with regard to what word do they normally use? Like they say we are bringing a lot of products into their market at affordable prices. Not cheap, because cheap would be quality, but at affordable prices. Our milk has been going to the region. Our other dairy products have been going to the region. Over time now, even our grains have been going to the region. You have even other food products going to the region. You have confectionery going to the region, which is very added. You have bottled drinks going to the region.
Yes.
So I tell you, our quality has improved tremendously.
Okay.
Yesterday I was in Mubende, almost on the just a distance away from Kabamba Barracks, and I visited some cooperative. They told me they have over 450 farmers. They have a machine. They are adding value to agricultural products, grains. This time I found them, they were trying to add, to do maize. They even have the packaging. They have even blended their packaging.
Okay.
They get grains. They turn it into posho. So they make posho, and then they make bran. So animal food
the
and
maize
animal
bran.
feed.
Oh, no.
And in the village, in Chinyogoga, in Mubende. So the message, especially the message of the president, especially with regard to value addition and quality, has sunk in. I looked at their products and I liked it. Certified by UN base. Also agriculture approved them. Even the government agencies are already going to this cooperative, which is an association, and this is a word to go by the way, Job, that if you want to add value, especially for agricultural products, agricultural producers, farmers, some of them are peasants, they are small. So they need to cooperate and then form an association or producers association or cooperative, and they bring all their efforts together. And you end up having sorting, grading, and you sell good products to the local and outside. They told me, I surprised them. They told me that, the next level we want to go into exporting. I said, do you know who is here?
Okay.
This is the executive director of Uganda Export Promotion Board. So
you're talking to the right person.
You are being assessed without knowing.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
so Doctor, you've talked about the board, and my other question will definitely go direct to the board this time around.
Yes.
Looking at the SEM Expo as well, how are you collaborating with the various stakeholders, to ensure that when you look at the level of exports, then versus the import substitution here, how are we going to deal with this kind of issue in the country?
That's a good one. You see, for a long time, imports have been outpacing our exports. And which should be the other way. So let me begin by saying, one, the Ministry of Finance, working with us and other agencies, has established an export promotion and import substitution committee chaired by the PSST, Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury of the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, co-chaired by the PS, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, and with other PSAs, and we have all the technical people, and we are interfacing regularly, but at least also every quarter. And we have targets. The second thing I have to mention is that the president, you remember during COVID, what he said, real economy, he said he wants import substitution, export promotion. So these efforts have begun. But before I tell you the efforts, let me mention the fact is that all countries that export also import. United States of America, one of the biggest economies, followed now by China, they are importing a lot. Some of it is raw materials that they add value and export to us and other countries. So some of the imports you see, those I don't like are these consumables, second-hand and third-hand vehicles, and which are populating our cities and causing traffic jams. But some of the imports you see, they are intermediate goods, they are raw materials. For example, iron and steel factories, base metal products, since we have not yet completely extracted and added value to our iron and steel, which we have a lot in Busia, in Kabale, in Moko, we have a lot and good, but we have not added value. So some of the imports, we should appreciate them, we should like them, because they are what? They are raw materials, they are intermediate goods, sometimes they are factories, they are factory components. So that is good. Now, the other part is that exports have been rising as a result of also having brought some of these imports and added value. If we look at base metal and products, we used to export very little. 5 million, even 10, but we are now over 100 million US dollars. So we have brought raw materials and added value. But exports have also been increasing.
Okay.
And in my view, I think in the next NDP4, by the end of NDP4, which will be, we are in NDP3, which will be another 5 years.
Yes.
If all goes well in economic success, ceteris paribus, all factors kept equal and constant, we should get more than 10 billion US dollars of exports of merchandise exports. Merchandise exports meaning now the commodities, but also we should be getting close to 3 to 4 constant billion of services.
Okay.
And one can, if you add those and put it in Uganda shillings, they are a lot of trillions.
Okay.
Is it possible? Yes, it is going to be possible because the government and the private sector have invested in production. They have invested in value addition. When you see more factories are coming up, we are even producing products that we never produced before. We are getting markets, for example, for milk and dairy products in places we have not been before, as in Algeria, in Malawi and other South African countries, in Dubai and UAE. We are looking for markets in Qatar. Efforts are being made even to United States of America. For your information, we have been exporting milk products to USA and India. Casein is a protein component that is got out of milk. And every year before we were exporting around 3 million US dollars, and part of it was going to United States of America. I can mention, of course, United States of America is very far, and reachability is an issue, because then there are many hours by air, but also by water and connection. But we are looking for markets. We are looking for markets in China for our value-added products, and we are already there. In China, we are exporting dried fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Especially dried fruits. We are already exporting.
Okay.
We are exporting cut flowers and other products.
You know, Doctor, we've talked about the exporting part of it. Now let's look at the importing part here in rather a different aspect. How is the expo going to help us attract foreign investment into the country? And then also, if you can as well tell us how we can attract, joint partnerships, speaking of these partnerships, even the PPPs, that is the public-private partnerships here. How will this expo help us attract such opportunities as well?
Thank you very much. Actually, working with our embassy, the Minister of Agriculture has already gone in for government to government, and working with the embassy. I mentioned that UDC, Uganda Development Corporation, was already in, and they are already having discussions with government agencies to see how we get government to government. There are already MOUs that were signed before that we are looking at, including in exploration, in minerals and exploration. So this is already being done. Uganda Export Promotion Board already is about to sign an MOU with the partners in Qatar. We started this actually before even the expo, and we are working well with our embassy to ensure that this is finalized. We are meeting the chambers, like I told you, we are going to be meeting the chambers of commerce, but already UDC already met the chambers of commerce with our embassy. We already had this business forum, and we had some of our business people already who have begun discussing joint ventures, at least 1 to 3. And you see, like you have said, we still have enough time to do this. I will be personally going for these business forums, but going before, We are going to do market scoping studies. Market scoping studies will be to look for buyers, but some buyers who will be investors. So we'll be looking for investors and buyers. Study the market, understand it, and say who can we attract. Because when we are promoting exports, you saw even in Dubai, Uganda Export Promotion Board is the sole government agency which has the authorization from government and from parliament to, during an exhibition abroad, to promote investments, to promote tourism, to promote exports. Just coordinate. We are just coordinators of all this. So we have bankable projects from UIA. We have information from tourism, also both on investment, but also on tourism. We have information from energy. We have information from agriculture. We have information from even Ministry of Education. We have all this information and put together. And there is, when I came back, I saw there are even some businessmen who had gone back to discuss the issue of cows, dairy.
Because I wanted to ask you, do we have some private sector players who are actively at the expo right now and are already pitching in, their business ideas already?
During the National Day, we had more than 100 people involved. During the business forum, we had more than 100 people involved, and I can say that actually government was like 10%. The government agencies, they were very small. They were few. So the biggest were private sector. Both private sector from Uganda. Actually, there were more private sector from Uganda and elected. There was interest. And we need now to mobilize private sector from Qatar.
Doctor, looking at how other countries operate while at the expo, what would be some of those tips you could give to our players here in value addition, and what are the do's and the don'ts that you've been able to identify while the expo is ongoing?
One, branding is important. Branding, presentation of your country, of your company. Within the country, presentation of your company, presentation of your products, presentation of your offering. And a good brand also is associated with good quality, you should know, because quality is important. You cannot be promoting a weak brand because a weak brand is also associated with poor quality. Strong brands we have seen associated with good quality. So packaging, your message about what your company is and what the products you sell. Packaging your company as a good company, offering consistently, sustainably, the products that you promise to sell. Because if you are looking for partners, partners could be joint ventures, but also partners could be buyers, and you're not going to be consistent, you are going to disappoint what? You are going to disappoint the market. And then you will spoil the name of Uganda, because then they say in Uganda, we give them orders and they are never consistent. We give them orders and then they don't supply all the way. But also honesty and truthfulness. Let your brand, let your promotion be what you are saying. So that when you get a deal, come and supply it. We don't want speculators. We don't want these marauders. We don't want these people who come and say things and get 10 deals, but they don't have the capacity. You could get a deal and you don't have the capacity. Export Promotion Board will work with you to get you others. We could even encourage you to be part of a Producers Association or Exporters Association or a cooperative. And then from there you could come together and do a deal. But for you to get a deal and you supply it 3 times, 4 times, as if you were just a roadside seller, is very disappointing.
You know, Doctor, I'm a tourism enthusiast. And when you talk about value addition in tourism, it brings me to asking you, what kind of tourism can we offer to such markets, in relation to the kind of tourism we have as Uganda?
Let me tell you. First and foremost, Qataris have been visiting some neighboring countries. I have to say it officially.
Yes.
Qataris have been visiting the neighboring countries. They have also been visiting Uganda in a small way, but they have been visiting neighboring countries. So we need to give them assurances that Uganda actually is more better than the
Because we are the Pearl of Africa.
Because we are the Pearl of Africa. If you want to visit gorillas, we have the biggest number of gorillas. If you want to say all flora and fauna, if you want to say freshwater lake fish, we have the biggest lake, we have the longest river. If you want to say see all animals, if you drive from here to Windy,
yes,
and you drive from here, you go through Mubende, you continue,
you're heading
you have the kingdom of Toro,
you're heading to Semuliki.
You continue and you go through Queen Elizabeth,
yes,
and you go out as you go towards the wind and the Kanunga and what. Some of the animals you have seen, you have not even paid for them. As you are driving, you are seeing the
especially as you are approaching Fort Portal, by the way, you will still see monkeys and
on the roadside enjoying themselves. Then you go through Queen Elizabeth, you are seeing and along the way you are seeing giraffes, you are seeing hippos, you are seeing elephants, you are seeing small birds, crested francolin, the guinea fowl. You are seeing them. You have not been paid for them. It is only in Uganda that you can come to Kampala as you are being driven to see the mountain gorillas. Your camera is full.
Yes, before you even reach the destination.
Before you reach the destination. And therefore we have to also to encourage them. The food. Our food is very natural. Our food is very organic. Everybody in the world now is concerned about their health, especially rich people.
Yes.
And the Qataris are rich people, so they have to be concerned about their health.
And what they input into their bodies.
Yes, and we could also convince them on religious tourism.
Yes.
Because they are Muslims. We have Muslim pilgrims, you know.
Yes.
People have never known that also in Uganda we have Muslim pilgrims. But also we have one of the biggest, maybe second biggest mosque in Africa, the Gaddafi mosque, because maybe the biggest mosque is in Algeria. So we just need to package ourselves, but also tell them, come and see hospitable people you have never seen.
Okay.
And you see, some of the rich countries, they always think in Africa people are suffering, they are beggars, they ought to come and we want to show them that we have Uganda people who are hospitable and are not here to beg from you.
All right.
Yes.
In your parting shots, Doctor, what would be your final words to the viewers out there and then the traders and the exporters in the country?
I want to say the following. One, that it is the country that trades.
Yes.
And the companies do business. So it is the role of government to create a neighboring environment, which they are doing, but also to fund export promotion. And I like Amos Wekesa, if you are hearing me, I always hear your message of saying government of Uganda needs to do a lot of marketing itself. Because government of Uganda is a brand. A very good brand that has brought peace to itself and peace to the regions and exported peace and stability that has been stable for coming to 40 years. African countries are always never stable like that. That has increased investment, but also that this is the Pearl of Africa, which is very unique. I'm talking about all this before even I talk about trade. That once you have done this, then we invite investors, then we invite buyers, then we invite exporters, but also we want to encourage the private sector to keep doing what they are doing. The government will keep looking for markets. The private sector should be aware again that the government, being Uganda being a developing country, the budgets will not always be enough to inject in marketing, to inject in promotion. But the government is trying its level best to do promotion. We are, for example, in this agricultural exhibition, we might not be having enough funds, but in our small way, we want to be there.
Okay.
Let me say something, that actually Kenya is not there. Kenya's pavilion or stand is next to us. It has been closed. They have been saying they are going to open it. So sometimes Uganda is trying its level best to do good things and to promote itself.
Well, in there you have it, Dr. Eli Twineo, who is the Executive Director of the Uganda Export Promotion Board. He was with us this morning, or he is still with us this morning, but our conversation now comes to bed as early as it is now. We're only left with 2 minutes to the top of the hour. What a conversation we've been having. The conversations have been rotating around value addition and export markets. But if you're to look back at the background of our conversation, it does rotate around the expo in Doha. Doha is in Qatar. And obviously, when you look at how far they've come, it's 3 months into this particular expo that will be ending in March 2024, to be more precise, the 28th of March next year. It did kick off on the 2nd of October, and of course, we are exhibiting as well as a country. And our target this time around is looking at the quality of products that we're exporting, as much as we focus on value addition, because that is the same reason as to why other countries are competing heavily and quite favorably on the global stage. Many thanks for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you very much, and thank you for hosting me. I am available when you want me next time.
Indeed.
Thank you.
And the pleasure was us having him this morning. And to you, our viewers, many thanks for joining us and being part of Good Morning Uganda from 6:30 a.m. where we did kick off from with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono, myself, and Olive Monica Najuma, Chantal Oliver Kandinda, and Ruben Pima Chibirango, who was here to give you more sports news and the like. But of course, as we continue going into this particular time of festive activities and the festive season, be mindful of your health as well. Make sure that you test for your HIV, know your status. Not only that, but also be mindful of the road usage for the drivers, pedestrians, the border riders, and all of us who are using the roads. Do not drive while texting on phone. It has become a very huge pandemic in the country, by the way. And then also do not drink and drive. So it is always better to have a designated driver for you in case you're going outing in this particular time of December, where people are partying every other day that comes by. But also be mindful, because the thieves are quite open out there, early in the morning, especially even late in the night. So be cautious, be vigilant, and always report any case of insecurity that approaches, because we are definitely going into a new year and all of us would love to step into 2024. But as of now, we wish you all the best for your day. Have a good morning. Till tomorrow.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala.